Hello student. In last lecture, we had gone through this projectile motion part, which is the applications of the Newton's laws of motion. Okay, so in that part, we discussed the what is projectile, what is trajectory of the projectile, and how this trajectory of the projectile is supposed to be dependent on the medium in which we are supposed to describe its motion. Because already we gone through this projectile motion in our FIBSc course, where we are not dealing with the resistive media. But in last lecture, we derived the equation for the projectile motion in the resistive media. So in that, K factor affects the velocity position of the projectile in the motion. Okay. So the second application of the Newton's law is the rocket motion. So before going into that detail, what is rocket, how this rocket motion is different from the rest of the motion, and what is the beauty of that motion. So in last lecture, we discussed about the motion where velocity is continuously changing, because when we are dealing with the trajectory, so each and every time in the trajectory, velocity of the particle changes because its direction is supposed to be changed. But the case where mass of the system is changing, because we know that the force is rate of change of momentum, and momentum is mass into velocity. So force is changing when you change the velocity of the particle, or the force is changing when we change the mass of the particle with respect to time, obviously. So in rocket motion, we are studying the changing mass of the system. So where the mass of the system, mass of the particle changes with respect to time, which is not the case in your projectile motion, where the velocity is changing, where mass is kept at a constant. So in projectile motion, we discuss the change in velocity part, where in rocket motion, we are studying the change in mass part. Okay, so let's start. So before going into the mechanics of the rocket, let us discuss some history about the rocket. So rocket is discovered in 13th century in the China. So after that, many of the artillery worlds uses the rocket in different forms. Okay, but India, around 70 to 18 country, Hyder Ali used these steel coated rocket, and after that his son Tipu Sultan uses this rocket, that is Mysorean rocket, against the East India Company British. But after the death of this Tipu Sultan, those rockets were acquired by the British, and then scientist William Congreve, which worked on this rocket and again fabricate its own rocket, and again they use for the World War II. Okay, so this is all about the history of the rocket. So in that time they used the gunmetal powder. So for that the solid gunpowder is used for the propellant, and nowadays you can see these people use the liquid propellant. Okay, so which again increases its efficiency. So those parts we'll discuss in our later lecture. So how these mass of the fuel, or how the form of the fuel is supposed to be affect on the efficiency of the rocket, or how these can affect the velocity or the motion of the rocket. Okay, so this is all this part. Okay, so let's move to the mechanics of the mechanics of the rocket. So this is rocket whose mass is m, and this fuel, okay, whose mass is delta m. Okay, so the velocity of the rocket at time certain t is v. So when rocket is supposed to be projected, and this fuel inside this rocket is starting burning. So after the burning of this fuel, so the gaseous product which is come out through this rocket, and those gaseous product eject out through this very small nozzle of the end of the rocket, and through which, due to high pressure is generated, and due to that high pressure, high velocity acquired by those gases, and you can see those gases are coming out with the very high velocity, and due to that velocity this rocket acquired the upthrust force, and that's why this rocket is supposed to be moved in the upward direction. We know this is all about this Newton's third law of motion. Okay, so after time delta t, velocity of the rocket v plus delta v. So velocity is changing, and the velocity, how this velocity changing? Velocity increases as the mass of this total system decreases. Okay, so we know this force is mass into velocity, so mass is decreases, force again increase. Okay, so this at time t plus delta t, velocity is v plus delta v. So this is the velocity of the exhaust gases propellant, okay, with respect to rocket. So what is the velocity of rocket, velocity of propellant with respect to inertial frame of reference okay. So this u be the velocity of this propellant gas with respect to rocket. So this is in the downward direction. And what is the direction of velocity? V plus delta v in the upward direction, that is along the positive y direction. This is velocity along the negative y direction with respect to accelerating frame, okay, with respect to rocket. So we want to find the velocity of propellant gas with respect to inertial frame of reference. So suppose man is standing on the earth. So what is the velocity of this exhaust gas with respect to the man standing on the earth? So what is the velocity seen by this man? Okay, so this velocity is equal to, yes, velocity of this gas with respect to rocket minus the velocity of this rocket. Okay, velocity of rocket is v plus delta v. But what is the direction of v plus delta v? In the positive direction. So what is the component? What is the direction in the negative y-axis? Okay, minus v plus delta v. So this is direction in the negative y direction. Okay, so resultant velocity of a propellant with respect to man standing on the ground is, yes, u minus of minus v plus delta v, and so this minus minus again plus, so u plus v plus delta v. Suppose this is equation number 1. Okay, so when this rocket is going in the upward direction, so according to the classical mechanics, energy supposed to be conserved, linear momentum supposed to be conserved, angular momentum supposed to be conserved. So all those quantities supposed to be conserved in the rocket motion. So let's apply the conservation of linear momentum. Okay, so how this conservation of linear momentum helps us to find the motion of the particle, motion of the rocket. So conservation of momentum. So what is the conservation of momentum tells us? So the momentum initial momentum of the particle is equal to final momentum of the particle. So what is the initial momentum? Momentum is mass into velocity. What is the initial mass? Mass m. What is the initial velocity? V. So initial velocity into initial mass, that is m into v. What is final mass and final velocity of this rocket system? So now the total mass of the rocket is m, which include the mass of fuel plus mass of the vehicle. Okay, so but after time delta t, we found that the velocity or propellant gas supposed to be eject out through this rocket. So delta m amount of mass supposed to be reduced from this total mass m. Okay, so what is the mass of this rocket system, which is excluded by this delta m? Okay, if you just remove this delta m part from this mass m, what do you get? M minus delta m. And what is the velocity? So this is the mass of this whole system. This is the mass of this whole system, excluding this mass of the exhaust gas. So the mass of the exhaust gas is delta m. So what is the remaining mass of this rocket? This is m minus delta m. So this m minus delta m be the mass of this rocket. Okay, and what is the velocity corresponding to that mass? Velocity corresponding to that mass is v plus delta v. So into v plus delta v. Okay, so again momentum of this plus momentum of this, which again combinedly gives the momentum after the burning of the fuel or the momentum, final momentum of the rocket. This is the initial momentum m into v. Final momentum is v plus delta v into m minus delta m. Again, this delta m going into that direction. So momentum corresponding to that fuel is burning gases is delta m into u, or velocity with respect to ground. So what is the velocity with respect to ground? U plus v plus delta v. Okay, so it has to be added in the after part. Okay, so plus delta m into the u plus v plus delta v according to the equation number 1. Okay, so let's expand. So mv as it is, so m into v, mv, m into delta v, so m delta v minus, sign keep it as it is, v delta m, again minus delta m delta v. Okay, so plus delta m into u plus delta m into v. Okay, again delta m into delta v. Okay, so this is all. So look at these values, and which value is supposed to be gone away? mv get cancel out. Yes, m delta v. So this delta m delta v, this delta m delta v coolly cancel out. Which term again supposed to be gone away? So v delta m again goes away. So what is the remaining term? So 0 is equal to, yes, m delta v, yes, plus u delta m. This is equation number 2. So according to the conservation of linear momentum, initial momentum is equal to the final momentum. In initial momentum, mass of the rocket is m, velocity of the rocket v. After the certain time delta t, you will find the mass of the rocket supposed to be decreasing because fuel is burned and those exhaust gas propel out through the rocket, so which reduces the mass of the rocket by amount of delta m, and velocity acquired by the rocket is v plus delta v. So this is the linear momentum corresponding to rocket after the burning, plus linear momentum of these exhaust gas whose mass is delta m and acquired velocity u plus v plus delta v. And how this u plus v plus delta v comes? So we already know from this equation 1. Okay, so this is equation 2. So again rearranging the equation 2, what do we get? So m delta v is equal to minus, it goes into the another side, u delta m. Okay, so divide throughout the equation by delta t. So why we are dividing this equation by delta t? Because we want this equation in terms of the equation of motion. Okay, so dv by dt, it comes out to be the velocity of the particle. Okay, so let's go step by step. So m dv by dt is equal to minus u delta m by delta t. Okay, so look at this equation, delta v by delta t. Okay, or suppose if you apply limit delta t tends to 0, so what do you get? Why we apply this limit? Because we want this derivative into the exact differential equation. Okay, so that's why we are applying the limit delta t tends to 0. So after the applying delta t tends to 0, you will find this equation in the form of m dv by dt. So this is the exact differentiation. So minus u as it is, again this goes into dm by dt part. Okay, so look at these values. this is m. Okay, so this m dv by dt. What is dv by dt, by the way? Dv by dt is acceleration, and mass into acceleration is force. So that much amount of force, through that much amount of force, this rocket is going into the upward direction. And this is again the force. This is the direction of u dm by dt. Okay, mass and upon time, this is your velocity, so you will find the dimension of the force over here. Okay, so but this equation is correct or not, or there is some correction to that equation is needed, because you are studying the equation in the vertical direction, okay, along the positive y direction. So the motion has to be written in terms of the force due to the gravity. So gravitational force supposed to be there, and it is acted into the downward direction. Okay, so you have to provide the force against the direction of the gravitational force of the earth. Then and then this rocket goes into the vertical direction. Okay, and in the assumption we are dealing with this motion of the particle where g is constant. Okay, so assumption is the g is constant throughout the motion. Second assumption is the motion of the rocket in the non-resistive medium. Okay, so the resistance offered by the medium is negligibly small. Okay, so those are the assumptions which we did while studying this rocket motion. Okay, so this force of the rocket has to overcome the force due to the gravity. So in the RHS part of this equation, you have to include the gravitational force, and against that gravitational force you have to provide the force to the rocket. Then and then rocket attain the certain velocity or go into the upward direction. So this equation number, let's say 3. So there has to be gravitational force okay. So apply the correction gravitational apply the correction of gravitational force to equation 3. So how to write equation 3? M as it is, dv by dt as it is, okay, is equal to, what is the gravitational force? Minus m into g, yes, minus u dm by dt as it is. So this negative sign indicates it is in the downward direction. Okay, so it decreases potential energy of the system. Okay, so this is all. Okay, so divide by m to both sides, you will get the equation dv by dt is equal to minus g as it is, minus, yes, u by m again dm by dt. So we dividing the both side of the equation by m, so m get cancelled, m again get cancelled, so u by m as it is and dm by dt. Okay, so multiply by delta t. So if you multiply both the side of this equation by delta t, what do you get? dv is equal to minus g as it is, multiply by delta t minus, so delta t goes away, so you will get u into delta m. So instead of putting this m over here, I just put the m in this fashion. Okay, so this is dv is equal to minus g delta t minus u delta m upon m. Okay, so this is the equation. So integrating the equation, if you integrate this equation, what do you get? Integration of dv is equal to minus g constant, keep it outside, integration of dt minus u is constant, integration of dm by m. Okay, so after integrating we will find the some constant of integration, that is c1. Okay, so what is integration of dv? So you will get v minus g into integration of dt is t minus u. What is the integration of 1 over m with respect to dm? So 1 over x integration of dx is ln of x. So instead of x we have this m over here, m plus c1. Okay, so this is equation number 4. So how to find the constant of integration? As we know, by applying the initial condition you will find this constant of integration. So at initially, that is at t is equal to 0, what is the value of at t is equal to 0? U, velocity of the propellant gas, is 0. What is m? Mass of the rocket. What is the initial mass of the rocket? So initial mass of the rocket is m0, which is mass of fuel plus mass of vehicle. So this delta m with the fuel, and this vehicle means the mass of this rocket or the parts of the rocket. This is mass of the vehicle. So this is the initial mass without starting. Okay, initially when rocket is raised, its mass is m0, which includes the mass of fuel plus mass of vehicle. Okay, so putting those values at initially, you will find the c. So v is again 0 initially, minus 0 minus again these. Okay, so this ln of u as it is, ln of, instead of m, what is the value? We have a m0. Okay, so this is plus c1. So what is c1? c1 is equal to u ln of m0. So because we keep this c1 as it is and move this u ln of m0 into the this side. Okay, so if you put this value in this equation, equation number 4, what do you get? So we get the velocity. So v is equal to s minus gt as it is, u ln of m as it is, and instead of c we can put u ln of m0 plus u ln of m0. Okay, so if we keep this u common, minus g t as it is, minus sign as it is, and if you just keep this minus u outside this bracket, you will find this ln of m minus ln of m0. And what is the value of ln of a minus b? Ln of a upon b. So we can write minus gt as it is, minus u ln of m upon ln of m0. So this is equation number 5. Okay, so this is the velocity in terms of initial mass and mass at time t. Okay, so this is the velocity. Okay, so in that case, in rocket, when rocket is moved, its mass is decreases. And what is the, in how much amount this mass supposed to be decreased through this rocket can be given by the, yes, so these, so decrease in mass of the rocket mass of rocket can be given by, yes, which factor? So decrease in mass of the rocket can be given by the factor alpha. And how this factor alpha can be written? dm by dt, and this mass is decreased with respect to time t, what should be the sign to this alpha? It should be negative, because this is the rate of decrease of mass of the rocket, or it is supposed to be, it decides whether this, in what amount the fuel is supposed to be burned. Okay, so if you know this factor alpha, you can define those quantity, those velocities, those acceleration, those position of the rocket at a certain time t in terms of this alpha. Because this alpha is constant, when you design the rocket, you have to know this alpha. Okay, so alpha for a particular rocket is different, and this is a constant for a particular rocket propellant system. So initially you have to design rocket by considering this alpha. Then and then you can consider those velocities, acceleration and position of the particle at certain time t. Then and then you can design those equation. You can tell whether rocket at time t is in what position, whether velocity of this rocket at a certain time is this and those. Okay, so if you know this alpha, then and then you can decide those quantity. So okay, so alpha be the rate of decrease in mass of the rocket. Okay, so keep in mind. Okay, so this is equation number 6. Okay, so again rearranging the equation 6, what do you get? So dm is equal to minus alpha delta t. So I just move this delta t into this side and negative side transferring to that side. So I'll get, again integrate the above equation, you will get again dm is equal to minus alpha constant, keep it outside the integration, and integration of dt plus some constant of integration, let's say c2 be the constant of integration. So integration of dm again gives the value m minus alpha as it is, integration of dt is t, plus constant of integration is c2. Okay, so how to find c2? Again same thing, apply the initial condition and find the c2. So initially at t is equal to 0, what are the quantity? M, yes, we previously discussed, initial mass of the rocket is m0. Okay, and there is no point to talk in terms of alpha because rocket is at stationary, so there is no burning of rocket, so there is no change of mass with respect to time, so alpha again 0, but we don't worry about this alpha because t is already cancel these terms. Okay, so m0 is equal to, yes, instead of m we put the m0, 0 plus c2, and what is c2? m0. Okay, so put the c2 is equal to m0 value in these, what is this equation. What do you get? M is equal to minus alpha t plus m0. Okay, so this is equation. This is equation number, let's say 7. Okay, so put the value of m from equation 7 into the equation 5. What do you get? Put equation 7 and 5. What do you get? So you will get the instantaneous velocity minus gt u ln of. Okay, so instead of m, put the values in terms of those alpha and initial mass, so minus or m0 minus alpha t upon m0, or you can write by dividing the equation. You will get v is equal to minus gt as it is minus u ln of this get cancelled, 1 minus alpha t upon m0. So this is the equation of instantaneous velocity instantaneous velocity of rocket at any time t. Instantaneous velocity of rocket at any time t. So this is the velocity. So basically question is why we represent those quantity in terms of those alpha and m, because we have already know this equation number 5, which is fine, m minus m0 into those u and gt. Okay, so why we represent these equation in terms of those alpha and m? Because when we fabricate, when we design the rocket, you know the initial mass of the rocket, that is mass of vehicle plus mass of fuel, m0. Okay, we know the alpha is constant for a given rocket system. Okay, so alpha is constant, m0 is constant. You know the velocity of, you can measure the velocity of those exhaust gas with respect to the rocket. So you again know g is constant by assuming our assumption, and t. So you can find the velocity at any time t if you know those quantity alpha, m0, u. Okay, so with this you can easily find the velocity at any time t. So with this equation we can again find the acceleration of this rocket. Again if you again integrate this velocity, you can again find the displacement or the position of the rocket along the vertical direction. Okay, so this is a next part of our lecture. Okay, so with this we'll stop here. Thank you.